The San Francisco 49ers, man. The team that little 11-year-old me signed his life to and some days regrets it. Just so you know, I'm not playing. Granted, I got this jersey a lot longer. Y'all see the George Kittle jersey, man, 85 on the chest. But after seeing this team come so close, yet so far, so many times, I'd be a fool to still feel pain, right? Well, luckily, this body no longer has a heart, so there aren't many things the Niners can do to really demoralize me anymore. However, this 49ers team is different. Not only did we not make the playoffs, but for the first time in a while, I felt this team had some glaring holes on the roster. Well, in this video, I will be breaking down how I personally rank each position group on the 49ers, starting with Brock Purdy and ending with the coaching staff. This video is purely my opinion, and as somebody that watched almost every 49ers game beginning to end, I feel like I can give a pretty accurate grade on each position group throughout this season. If you guys want me to do more NFL team position rankings, like the video, and I'll try to make more videos like this. Without any further ado, let's start with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy. The question you're going to want to ask is, do you pay the man or not? I personally say yes, because what other quarterbacks will be available for you to draft or pick up in free agency? Drew Allar? Jackson Dart? Sam Darnold, maybe? All three of those options, I believe, are worse than Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, all things considered, played pretty decently this year, as he had 3,864 yards, 20 touchdowns with 12 interceptions, and added 5 touchdowns on the ground. Is Brock Purdy a Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Josh Allen level player? No. But he's still good enough to be your franchise quarterback while he has elite pieces around him. For this season alone, I give Brock Purdy a C grade. While he played elite at times, there were a few times this year where he airmailed throws and underthrew some touchdowns. Wasn't the sole reason of our downfall this year, but he was not good enough to carry. That is the one thing Brock Purdy proved to us this year. He's not good enough to carry a roster, but that does not mean he is not a franchise quarterback. Running backs. This group is an interesting one to grade, as the best running back in the NFL decided he was only going to play 2 games this year. In his absence, running backs Jordan Mason and Eddie Guerrero played extremely well this year, even though they got hurt too. Patrick Taylor, our 4th-string running back, even had a 100-yard game this year, showing that the run scheme still worked. If I was grading players off individual stats, McCaffrey obviously gets a DNP, Mason gets an A, while Eddie Guerrero gets a B grade. So all in all, I give the RB room an A grade because of how well they played as a unit, while the starting running back for the team was out almost the entire year. Side note, if you don't know who Eddie Guerrero is, it's Isaac Guerendo. Just call him Eddie Guerrero. Wide receiver, probably the most difficult position to grade on the team this year as a unit. Our best wide receiver gets hurt after holding out and looked very pedestrian before he got hurt. Our wide receiver 2 cried for the football, then dropped it when we needed him to show up the most, also known as DBBL, Tubby, whatever you want to call him. Our wide receiver 3, depending on who you ask, got shot before the season. So thankfully he was okay and he survived and he was able to play. So we won't grade Ricky Pearsall because that is unfair to grade him after such a tragic event. And I'm just happy he is still able to even play the game of football. Then our wide receiver 4, Jauan Jennings, almost had his first 1,000-yard season and was the best wide receiver on the team by far. I want to give this unit a C grade because of Ayuk and DBBL, but I won't, simply for the fact that Jauan was really good this year and Ricky showed flashes at the end of the season. I will give this unit a B grade simply because Ricky showed promise, giving us hope for next season in this receiving core to improve and play better in 2025. Tight end, the easiest position to grade on the team, and it's not even close. George Kittle did nothing but prove that he is the best tight end in the NFL this season. Yes, he didn't get the first team All-Pro nod, but he deserved it. Kittle had 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns on only 78 catches. I can only imagine how it would look if Kittle got force-fed like McBride, Kelsey, and Bowers. Kittle was healthy, played hard, also blocked at an all-pro level. I could spend all day glazing Kittle and telling you how he's the best tight end in franchise history and he's the best tight end in the NFL, but this will be a 30-minute video, so you guys get the point. This man Kittle gets an S grade, and spoiler alert, this is going to be the only S grade of the video. Fullback. We are one of the few teams that actually still employs a fullback, and maybe we shouldn't anymore. Kyle Juszczyk looked really rough this year. Yeah, he scored a few touchdowns, but he fumbled on the goal line in the Bills game, which made me laugh out loud when I saw it live. It was essentially a 0 in the run blocking game and was more worried about if Grant Cohn was checking him out than performing. Juice looked every bit of 33 this year, and he gets way too much money to be this mediocre. Borderline a failing grade, but at least he did something. He played every game and he scored a few touchdowns, so that will keep him from a failing grade, but he gets a D grade. Offensive line. This position is a tale of two cities. On one side, you have an elite run blocking game that allowed us to run the ball most of the season. Then on the other side, you have a unit that can't pass block to save their lives. Pooney was elite, and if it was just him we were grading today, he'd get an S grade right next to Kittle. However, we had Brendel Slaw-ass playing center, getting blown up. Don't know how he got the award this year. Trent was playing great till he got hurt, so we can't grade him for the whole season. Aaron Banks regressed and was being outplayed by his backup, Ben Bartch. Finally, McKivitz actually was not complete ass this year. Just being honest. He probably outplayed Mike McFloppy, who gets paid a lot more money than him. Without Pooney and Trent, this unit gets a C-. However, with Pooney and Trent factored into this grade, they go up to a B-. Defensive line. Oh, what a fall from grace. I used to watch demons like Aldon Smith, Justin Smith, and DeForest Buckner wreak havoc on opposing offensive lines. Now I get Wash Bosa and Dashers rusted QB play after play. Bosa, all things considered, played okay. He didn't play like the best defensive lineman in the NFL, but 9 sacks isn't bad. I've definitely seen worse. The interior of this line is almost non-existent. Javon Hargrave wasn't really doing anything before he got hurt, and then after he got hurt, we completely lost our interior presence. Yetur Gross-Matos almost had his whole season worth of sacks in one game. He had 4 sacks on the season, 3 of them came against the Bears. This unit was also getting bullied most of the year in the run game, especially during games like against the Bills. I would give this unit an F grade, but Nick Bosa keeps this unit out the F grades and puts them in the D tier. Linebacker. Once again, what a fall from grace. The Hot Boys, Patrick Willis, Chris Borland, and Navarro Bowman used to strike fear in defenses' hearts. Now I get to watch one ankle Fred Warner and Dashers and a quitter be on my field. No shame to Fred, as he still played at an all-pro level. However, he was hurt, and you could tell during some games he was hurt more than others. Not having Dre Greenlaw showed us how bad this unit is outside of Fred and Dre. While D. Winters wasn't terrible, he didn't get to play because we had a quitter on our team named Devondre Campbell, who gets absolutely no respect from me. He was slow, he thought he was better than he was, and he's a quitter. This unit was rarely disruptive and gave up yards through the air and on the ground, and didn't force turnovers either. This unit would also get a failing grade, but Dre showing us flashes of the old Dre for a game or two and Fred Warner keeps them slightly above the D linemen. So we'll put this group in the C tier. Defensive backs. This is the unit that actually gives me hope for the 2025 season. While Charvarius Ward didn't play as well, I wish him nothing but the best because a very few people would have played well given his circumstances and the tragedy that struck him and his family. As for Demo showed us this year that he has all-pro potential. He didn't make the Pro Bowl this year, and he wasn't an all-pro, but he showed the team and he showed us fans that he can be the cornerback one on this roster for years to come. And also, young quarterback Renardo Green, once given opportunity, showed us he also is the future of this cornerback room. Also, safeties Malik Mustafa and Talanoa Hufanga could potentially create havoc on the backside for our safety group as these players come down, hit hard, and I expect them both to continue to get better. I just need Hufanga to stay on the field, and hopefully he gets re-signed and doesn't command too much money. My only complaints about this unit would be Isaac Yiadom and Jair Brown. We knew Isaac Yiadom wasn't good coming into the season. It was just unfortunate he had to play so much since Charvarius Ward was dealing with some off-the-field issues. And Jair Brown, from where he was at the end of last season to where he was this year, is just kind of saddening, to say the least. At least last year, he used to make plays. This year, he was getting killed on the 98-yard pass to Justin Jefferson, and there were other plays where he just whiffed in the run game and just gave up open lanes. So I need him not on my field next year. All in all, though, this unit showed promise. It should be the best position group on the defense next year. I give this unit a B grade. Special teams. Lord have mercy, where do I even begin? This has to be one of the sorriest units I have seen in a long time. From the coach all the way down to the players. At the time of this being recorded, Brian Snyder has already been fired, which already speaks volumes to how sorry this unit was. From turning the ball over, muffing kicks, giving up kick returns, missing field goals, and kicking one of the worst onside kicks I have seen in my entire life. I don't even have words to describe how bad this unit was. And don't even get me started on Jake Moody. I need him gone. This was a man that we drafted in the 3rd round over some quality players. I'm sure I'll edit in some of the players on the screen now to show you just how bad we whiffed on this pick. But I cannot reiterate enough how much I need Jake Moody off my team for 2025. If he's not cut, I will fly out to Santa Clara and cut him myself. Somebody tell Jake Moody put the fries in the bag before I lose my mind. I could really make a video personally on Jake Moody, but we'll save that for another day if that's something you guys want to see. I don't know if my rant could tell you enough, but this unit gets the easiest F grade I've ever seen. It's not even close. Kyle Shanahan. Where do I even begin with you this season? There were so many times I called for your head and wanted you fired. But then sometimes you showed me flashes of the old Shanahan. So I was confused. I didn't know what Kyle Shanahan you were. There were so many things you did wrong this year. Your inability to keep leads in division games. We are lucky we even won one division game this year. So many times on 4th and short in opposing territory, you refused to go for it. In so many situations, you decided to use Jake Moody instead of going for it on 4th down. There were so many times also when Brock Purdy would get blitzed and you don't let him set up pass protection, so he's getting screamed at. And thankfully, Brock Purdy's not Jimmy Garoppolo, or our record would probably even be worse than what it is now. See, these are things that I have to blame you for because you're the coach, so you decide these things at the end of the day. I believe that you need an offensive coordinator. You have too many things on your shoulders. I think you need to take a step back and look at things from a different perspective, because being the offensive coordinator and the head coach is a lot for anybody. And I think you just need to relieve yourself of so many duties. I don't want you fired, but I need to see changes. I need to see that you're committed to changes, Kyle. Otherwise, I will call for your head next season. All in all, you get a D grade. Nick Sorensen, my God, I'm shooting you into the sun. Actually, I'm lowering Shanahan's grade now from a D to a D minus, because we hired you because we scapegoated Steve Wilks for the Super Bowl loss, and then our defense got even worse. Granted, Nick Sorensen, I will be brutally honest, it's not entirely your fault. The talent on this team completely diminished when you left, which is okay. It's not your fault, but still, your blitz schemes were very, very predictable. We really didn't get home. Players seemed like they were lost a lot more this year than normal. You decided to play Devondre Campbell for way too long. You decided to play Jair Brown for way too long. And there was just not enough creativity for me on the defensive end. You also could not scheme up anything to try to get us turnovers. This is one of the few Niners teams that I've seen in my lifetime that just can't turn the other team over. Usually they get strip sacks, forced fumbles, interceptions. There was not really a lot of that this year. You refused. There were also times on fourth downs, third downs, third and longs that you just played soft coverage and gave up easy completions. There were very few times you decided to play tight man-to-man coverage. I think we have at least two corners that can do that. So, this isn't entirely your fault, Nick Sorensen, but like I said when talking about Kyle Shanahan, you are the defensive coordinator, so it is your job to put your players in position to succeed. I don't believe you did that, so for that, you get an F grade. Hey guys, thanks for staying until the end. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a like and comment if you agree or disagree with the list. Just a reminder, this list is purely my opinion and should not be taken as facts. More videos are on the way. Till next time, Sad Boy A signing off. Peace.